Dobrý den, jmenuji se Jennings Brower, je mi 18 let a teď já bydlím v České republice. Hello, my name is Jennings Brower, I'm 18 years old and now I live in the Czech Republic. This is my second video blog. This is probably going to be quite a kind of long one, so if you're with me, I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to talk about a few things. First off, I want to give a brief explanation about Rotary Exchange International, because without Rotary Exchange International I wouldn't be here right now. Rotary Exchange is a very cool organization. It is an international organization where kids like myself can go to other countries and live for a year and learn a new language, go to another school for a year, make tons of lifelong new friends, and everything, and yada yada, so on and so forth. The way I became an exchange student is you go through a few sets of interviews after signing up and all that kind of stuff, and after you make your application, and through interviews they choose the people who they think are eligible, I guess you could say, to go for an exchange year. And we have plenty of countries to choose from, and you get 5 choices, but you are not promised one of your 5 choices because, again, it depends on how eligible you are. Anyways, my first 5 choices were Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Czech Republic, and Estonia. Don't know why I put Estonia. To be fully honest, I don't know where Estonia is. Anyways, that's aside from the point. The reason I'm here, my original motivation was because my dad, Darby Brower, lived in Sweden 30 years ago with Rotary Exchange also, and he absolutely loved it, and for my whole life he's always told my brother, sister, and I how awesome it was, and even today he's still fluent in German and Swedish, so I mean that's pretty cool. I mean, going and living somewhere for 1 year and coming back and being fluent in 2 other languages for the rest of your life is it's a pretty good deal. So anyways, the first thing I want to show you is my Rotary Blazer. Rotary Blazer is a normal blue dress coat blazer. What you do with it is you try to collect pins. What it's for is kind of like a memory or picture book that you wear, because every little pin, I'll show you it, every little pin has a story behind it, like where you got the pin from, or where you bought the pin, or something. And every single Rotary Exchange student has one like this, and like snowflakes, pretty good example. Every single Rotary Blazer is different because everybody has tons of different pins, and I'm only here now about 2 months and about 20 days, and I have this many pins and other decorations like flags, pins, little hats, and it's cool, but eventually it'll be very heavy. So every exchange student has one like this, and that's how we are all recognized, like in airports, because most airport staff anywhere in the world know if somebody's wearing a jacket that looks like this and is actually wearing it in public, they're probably somebody who's outgoing and would be willing to wear something like this, like an exchange student. So about how I'm here in Czech Republic, because I get asked that all the time. I'm always asked, Jennings, why Czech Republic? I know you didn't choose to come here. And normally when people say that, they are right, because I actually didn't choose to come here. Like I said, it was my 4th choice. And when I first found out that I was coming here, to be fully honest, I was very disappointed and very bummed out about it. But it's one of those things where I've realized that what the Rotarians have said is that every single country and every single exchange year is different, but at the same time is all awesome. And that is totally true. My first choice was Sweden, and the reason I chose Sweden was because my dad went 30 years ago, like I've already said. And so he still speaks fluent Swedish, and I was hoping that I could go abroad for a year to Sweden. I could learn lots of Swedish before I even left home, and then come back and be able to speak to my dad in another language, which I thought would be way cool. And I still think it would be very cool. But I think it's totally fine because I love it here. As I've told kids at school here, if you guys are watching, you guys know I love it here. I made friends in school very quickly. There really wasn't much of a language barrier because I'm in a class called 3X where they have 3 or 4 classes in English and not in Czech because they are a English experimentative class where they're trying to see if these students will learn English faster by having classes and subjects in English. And I think it absolutely has worked because all of my friends in school speak English very well. So congratulations to you all if any of you are listening or watching this. But about learning Czech, my next subject I want to speak about in this vlog. There's a few ways of studying Czech or any other language, but I'm talking about mine. The first thing I did was I got a computer CD from my aunt before I left, and every day I would try to do a few exercises, a few vocabulary exercises and lessons and so on and so forth because they were little learning games, which was great. But at this point I don't know where that CD has gone, so I don't have it. So what I've moved to now, and what I also used to do, is audio CDs, and it's just something I can put on my iPod or something, or what I did in Florida is I would listen to them in the car, and I could slowly learn some simple phrases, so that was great. But my very favorite way of learning is by these, and the reason I'm standing up is because I'll probably be moving around a little bit during this video. So these are my favorite, and this is only about half of what I have right now. These guys are my flashcards for Czech. One side just got English word like t-shirt, and on the other side is the Czech word, which is tričko. So anyways, that's very obviously how it works. I have, I guess right now, 850 words that I know, and I think that's at least the amount I know. And my other favorite way of learning, especially how to speak the language and pronunciate everything correctly, because there are different types of letters and sounds here, is by using little kids' reading books. This one is a little kid's fairy tale book. And so congratulations to all of you Rotarians and Rotecs who told me beforehand, use these because it works. So every night what I used to do when I first got here, because I've already finished this book now, is every night at dinner I would read one of these stories with my family downstairs, and my little sister Nicole, who's 9, would read it in English and I would read it in Czech. And so we would help each other with pronunciation. So very good book. Next, my host family. I've got a mom, dad, and little sister Nicole. My dad is Alish. He is 39 and 40. Mom is Michelle. She is 38, 39. And I have my sister Nicole, who is 9. I do have another sister, but she is currently in Japan right now. So she is there, but she is 18. Her name is Leona. So next, I want to talk about what I do in my free time here. When I'm not at school and I'm not at home, there's a few things I like to do. First of all, here I've found that TV is not nearly watched as much as in America. So we are very much so outside, spending time with family members or friends, or yeah, just doing stuff with other people or reading or something, I don't know. But to be honest, I barely use my computer except to make these videos or to go on Facebook. So in my free time, for example, I do enjoy going to hang out with my friends. One of my favorite activities is this. This is this is my slackline. I'm not going to take it out of the bag because it's really long. A slackline, for those of you that don't know, it is a tight rope which you walk on, which you can put between two trees or whatever is strong enough to hold it tight so you can walk on it. That has been one of my best icebreakers with new people. So, for example, to break the kind of language barrier I had when I first came to school in the first week, I taught everybody one day after school how to walk on that because one, it looks easy to do, but when you first try it, it's crazy difficult. So everyone has a good time. They laugh because it is really difficult and it looks weird when you try to walk on it. So that was my best icebreaker. I also used to have my American football, so I taught everyone how to throw it and catch and everything. So one of my best icebreakers for maybe if there's someone out there right now watching this who is thinking of being an exchange student or who wants to learn how to break the ice in any awkward situation where you are outside or something. I don't know. It's very helpful to teach someone or some people something. I've taught how to throw the football and how to slackline. That has worked wonders for me. Because I have a lot of friends now, and they know I'm very outgoing because I taught them and I showed them I could do it, and so on and so forth. That's really good. Next, my school. I go to Gymnasium Slovansky na Městí. It's basically the same thing as a high school in America, except it's kind of for, or I've been told it's for the people who want to learn a broad range of subjects, like high school in America, so that they can have many choices when they're older of what they want to do for a job. For example, just like in high school in Florida, you all already know this. If you're really interested in science, you're going to take more time in your science classes to do well, and you'll maybe be a scientist. So here, they have some schools like a hotel school where you learn either to cook really well, and correct me if I'm wrong because I'll probably be wrong. We learn to cook really well if you want to be like a chef. You can learn management if you want to end up being a hotel manager one day or owner. And I think another one is learning to build so that you can build large structures that will be hotels one day. So that's the kind of schools they have here where it's for one certain field of jobs. And so I'm in gymnasium, which is like high school where you can have many jobs, not just one field. I love my teachers, I love my friends at school, and so everything is good. Next, I want to talk shortly about my first inbound orientation. We have two words. We have inbounds and outbounds with Rotary. Inbounds are the kids that come into the country, and outbound are kids going out of the country to other countries. For example, if I was in Florida right now, they would say, I'm an outbound. But I'm here, so I say I'm an inbound because I've come into this country. Very, very easy phrases. We had our first inbound orientation, which is when everybody in the two countries that are Rotary Exchange students from all over the world get together in one place and learn rules and everything like that. My first orientation was in Strecno, Slovakia. We went to see Strecno Castle, which was one of our trips. We just took a little bit of a hike up a hill and looked around. It was beautiful. I have pictures on Facebook. I'm going to try to figure out how to put pictures on this video so you can see. But that was very cool. Made lots of friends. We have 14 exchange students in the Czech Republic, and they have around 40 something in Slovakia. I'm sorry, we have 15, not 14. Even though it's strange because Slovakia and Czech Republic are basically the same size, and they have tons more kids. And for example, I'm the only exchange student in my city when normally other kids have 3 to 4 exchange students. But I'm really happy because I'm in the second largest city and I'm the only exchange student, which for me has been better because, I don't know, I can learn faster and all that nonsense. So also to let us know, we had our first language test, which, and this orientation was about 3 or 4 weeks after I got here. I did pretty well, but not super duper, kind of in the middle average zone. And so I've studied more now, and we had a test recently that I did really well on, but I'll show you that in another video. So anyways, what we do in inbound meetings, we usually do icebreakers. We learn each other's names. We exchange pins. That's how we get many pins, is we exchange pins. Here, I'll show you again. For example, I got this pin from, I want to say, my friend Alejandro from Mexico, but I'm not sure because there were a few Mexicans there. And by the way, Mexicans are awesome, way cool, always have tons of energy and want to dance and sing and do stuff, and they are fantastic, wonderful people. So that's from my friend from Mexico. Here's one of somebody from California. It's very hard to see, but it's from California. And and this one's from India. That's the one I got from my past host brother Jignesh, who lived with my family in Florida for a week before I left. Okay, so recapture real quick what I just said. I explained what Rotary was. It's just a way for people to get together and go places, literally. I explained that I use list audio CDs and flashcards and little kids book to learn my Czech. Right now I think I know about 850 words. In my free time I slackline, I do gymnastics, and I hang out with friends, and sometimes I do spinning also, which is actually really hard. Anyways, and I talked about my school, my family, inbound orientation, and that's all I want to say right now. So until next time, thank you guys for listening. I know this was a little bit long, but please, if you want me to continue to do this, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I would love to answer them in next videos. Please subscribe and like these videos if you actually like them. And so I will talk to you all next time. I thank you very much. Dobranoc. I will talk to you guys next video. Alright, bye.